There's a running joke in my family that my mom loves salad as long as you pick out the lettuce, which is why I'm going to be making her a bed of lettuce disguised under a bed of breakfast meat, eggs, blue cheese, all sorts of delicious stuff, aka Cobb salad. Literally, if you take my mom to a restaurant, she'll be like, ooh, a good salad sounds nice. She will get the salad, keep all the toppings, pick out half the lettuce, then pour her dressing on because she despises too much lettuce and the lettuce to toppings ratio. So I'm hoping she approves of this. I read that peeling your tomatoes can really elevate your salad. I was like, ooh, let me try. But after trying 2 peelers, I decided to be a lot easier to just eat upstairs in order to elevate our salad instead. Now, as a proud member of the Pre-Chewed Salad Lovers Club, I actually took my time to chop everything really tiny, which meant that I did not have time to cook the bacon. So my dad took over. I'm the stay-at-home daughter, but I'm really bad at my job, so he always has to help. But back to the lettuce, I don't know what type of lettuce I use. I know I use romaine, even though you're supposed to use icebergs. My family hates iceberg. I also use watercress, but the third type of lettuce, that is what we're calling the bougie lettuce, because whenever the cashier asked me, hey, what type of lettuce is this? Because I need to charge it, I was like, oh, I don't know. It's like bougie lettuce. I got it for a recipe. And she was like, bougie lettuce is not on my list. So weird. I'll just charge it as romaine. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I bet you this lettuce is more expensive than romaine. I bet you that I am shoplifting part of this lettuce because I don't remember the word. And that is the story of how I committed my first felony and why I have been looking over my shoulder for the last week. I don't know what my prison name is going to be, but I do know that I'm going to be the prison cook. The 5 pounds of turkey, bacon, blue cheese, eggs, it might not have been enough protein. I thought we needed a real protein as well. So I made some shrimp as well as a dressing of oil, red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, Dijon, Worcestershire, and probably something else that I forgot. But the good thing is my mom started making me write down my recipes so I can make them more than once, So that means that y'all are going to have the recipe, or at least like kind of some semblance of recipe because I don't measure. It's going to be on the gram. And also, my mom did not pick out any lettuce, which means that this salad was a success. My mom confidently says things like, I like salads as long as they're not too lettucey because I feed her delusions by chopping up lots of ingredients really tiny to make a salad that she will actually enjoy. This is my Cobb salad, and even though it got over 1 million views since last year, whenever I posted it, I've been really reluctant to make it again for some reason. And today I was reminded the reason is because it is one of the most labor-intensive meals I make, even though it looks really simple. You're simultaneously making a really good chopped salad and basically a full English breakfast chopped into tiny pieces to go with it. So there's going to be 3 types of lettuce as the base. We're using watercress, romaine, and green leaf lettuce. I'm starting with the green leaf, and after thoroughly washing all of my lettuces, I gave it a chop and a spin so it's not watery. Now, this is also going to be the romaine hearts. They're nice and crunchy. Most people use iceberg for a Cobb. Personally, I think that has about as much flavor as a wet paper towel. I might be insulting the paper towels, so I replaced it with romaine. Next up is watercress, which will make you feel like a full-on cow. It looks like grass bundled together with a rubber band. The rubber band is important because you want to make sure you take it off and you don't accidentally think you chop the whole thing up in the salad. Thankfully, I didn't end up finding it though on the counter because if it had been in the salad, there was no way I was finding it as small as I chopped all this up. Why is it so hard to clean lettuce? I want it pre-cleaned. Anyways, the thing about a Cobb salad is it is basically better if you chop everything really tiny, in my opinion. The issue with me is I will chop my finger off no matter how much I cook. So I risked my fingers. Thankfully, they all survived. I got everything itty bitty. And you cannot forget those burnt bacon and chives. My dad was telling me whenever he saw me making this, he's like, man, we used to just feed those to the cows growing up. I'm like, sir, this is like $2 a package now. And I'm like, dadgum, those cows were treated just as well as I am. I was going to say better, but y'all watch my videos and you know I'm a little spoiled. Seriously, they were pre-seasoning their hamburgers, feeding them those. I don't know, but I digress. I can't focus on that right now. I have a little trick for the hard-boiled eggs. You shake them in a jar and the peel comes right off, except for you should not use the lid. I forgot about that. You use your hand or else it completely obliterates the egg, which is what happened to me. And I still haven't even made the dressing. So I told my grandma and sister, get to work peeling these eggs. I got things to do. So I'll put the ingredients in the caption for this dressing because all the other ingredients you can see, but basically you just make everything to your taste. That's how I do everything in life, especially food and people. I told y'all that there was going to be a whole breakfast on top of this salad. So we're going to chop up these hard-boiled eggs. For the shrimp, you're going to do the most basic thing you've probably ever done to shrimp, and everyone says they're amazing. Dry them off a little bit so you don't start a grease fire or pop yourself in the face with the oil, and you're going to fry them directly into the bacon grease we just made. Hit them with some Tony Chachere's move, cook, done. They're delicious. Leave them alone. Now that I have dirtied every bowl in Texas to hold these ingredients, we're just going to dump the ingredients onto our lettuce so the bowls were completely useless. I accidentally doubled the lettuce, but not all the toppings, so hopefully my lettuce-hating mother does not notice. We'll see. Literally, the only reason I make these cute little stripes is for y'all because it's all going to get turned like compost with my salad servers, and 3 hours later, we have a salad that takes 3 minutes to eat. It is really delicious, though.